Let's take you back to Krugersdorp. A total of 21 bodies believed to be of illegal miners have been discovered at an active mine in Krugersdorp. Police's search and rescue team discovered 19 bodies yesterday before recovering another 2 this morning. At this point, how they died has not been confirmed, but according to police, the bodies were moved from where they initially were, and they are also ruling out the possibility of foul play. Let's go to Pule Letshwiti Jones, who's on the ground for us, just to give us more details. Pule, I see a very active scene there. Just give us more details. Have police said anything to you about what else they're finding there?
No, definitely not. In fact, we've now prioritized speaking to some of the community members here. One chap we spoke to is responsible for some of the mop-up operations and cleaning some of these mines around here. He's also said that it's not the first time we've discovered bodies here of the alleged illegal Zama Zamas. My colleague Heidi Jacobs will be speaking to him soon once they, of course, are able to locate him. But from what we understand from police officials, this matter is still subject of investigation. I had said earlier on that we try to speak to some of the sources inside the SAPS department as well, who said that this of course is still an active mine and that it's private property, also saying that they're suspecting it was foul play, but at the very same time, when the bodies were recovered, they didn't have any form of harm or bullet wounds. They believe that this could have been as a result of suffocation and flooding up, because it's been raining in these parts of this area in Krugersdorp as well, and heavy downpouring. So as it is right now, police are saying that they will wait for the post-mortem results, and from there on they'll declare it official as to what was some of the what were some of the results as to what had happened here. Of course, this has now tallied up to about 21 alleged legal Zama Zamas who have died, who were operating here on this crime scene. And these are just some of the scenes you're seeing on your screen. Police officials still trying to comfort clues and investigating as to whether, of course, there could be other bodies that are currently trapped inside. The operations are, of course, still ongoing. What we can also confirm is that the 2 bodies were retrieved this morning from this open mine shaft, not far from where the other bodies were discovered yesterday. This is a similar pattern we saw as well that happened in Germiston, one of the mines around Germiston last week, where 2 bodies were actually found on the side of the mine. So you'd always remember, when you're looking into some of these Zama Zama stories, this is the kind of pattern that they use. Once one of their own dies, they would actually leave a body on the side of the road, so one of the community members can send a tip off to the police officials, or the body can be identified by police officials on duty. And that's just how they operate. But this has been a quite problematic criminal activity that's plagued South Africa at this current moment. You'd remember just about a month or 2 months ago, the police minister Begigele also convened a police imbizo in this area, where he committed himself to ensuring that they would deploy more police officials and ensuring safety, most importantly, of community members. Earlier on, we spoke to Mr. Ndlovu, a community leader in this area, who said they were quite concerned and worried. In fact, sometimes they would drive around this mine here and bump into these Zama Zamas, who are heavily armed, by the way, Masejo. So this has become a concern for the community members living in this area.
Yeah, of course, Pule, and some of the promises that Minister Begigele and other top brass of the SAPS or the police made during that visit. I remember you actually attended to one of those operations. When you look as you were driving into this community, did you see any of the things that they promised actually still taking place? For instance, the police visibility and amaperete walking around the streets. Is this still the case?
Well, definitely not. I mean, you drive around this area here, this little town, this small town here, and you just bump into community members who are worried about this, illegal activities by Zama Zamas happening here. Just about 3 weeks ago, if I recall properly, we were on a mining a dumping site where we actually and lively bumped into some of these Zama Zamas. Upon spotting us, they ran back into the mining shaft where police could not nab them. We actually spoke to the police commissioner then, Elias Mamelo, who actually of course confirmed on live television to say it was a problem and that they would be deploying maximum resources to see how they can try and nab some of these Zama Zamas, of course, which includes the tactical response team, the NIU, to see if they can, work on these operations and ensure that they nab these illegal Zama Zamas. Because at the very same time, this is, an activity that's not only, traumatizing community members, but hurting the economy of South Africa as well, as it feeds to the underworld where these, resources such as diamonds or gold that are discovered are then sold to level 4 suspects who are on the other side of the country, such as our neighboring countries, to sell these resources at a reasonable price. So it also goes back to just about 4 weeks ago. Masiho, we can go on and on, where some of these alleged Zama Zama kingpins were nabbed. And they were alleged to be the ones behind these operations of actually being level 3 suspects who collect the resources, then sell them to other business operators operating legally in some of the neighboring countries as well. The Premier, David Makura, during a police imbizo as well, did say that they were looking at the possibilities of some of these Zama Zamas actually taking these resources to countries such as Lesotho, Mozambique and Botswana. And that was, of course, what the outgoing premier, rather former premier, David Makura, had said during his visit to Krugersdorp when on site with the police minister, Bheki Cele. So you can get an image or picture, rather, that government is faced with a serious challenge here of crime. That's actually something they're still looking into dealing with here. We'd spoken to the Gauteng police spokesperson earlier on, Brenda Muredili, who said that she was still on site at an Okaimolau operation in Vanderbijl Park, but of course confirming some of those details here, that the death toll in Krugersdorp of the alleged illegal people who they discovered from the 2 bodies that were actually here on this site.